Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. This is the December 20th edition of the weather video. Lots to talk about again today. The most significant aspect of our upcoming weather is the big shot of true Arctic air coming this weekend. I'll delve into some of the more detailed modeling in just a moment. Let me step you through some other items first here. That's a look during the 7 o'clock hour up in Boone. That's King Street there in Boone early today. It is a quiet and chilly start to the day. 28 degrees of temperature there in Boone. Charlotte, a lot of high clouds overhead. That's what it looks like from one of our sky cams at Charlotte Douglas International, looking back off to the east toward Uptown. We will see those clouds thicken and lower with time. And some folks might even see a few snowflakes or sleet pellets today. More on that in just a moment. Temperature in Charlotte, again, as I cut the video, 36 degrees. Again, that's during the 7 o'clock hour this morning. Other temperatures at that point in time, 30s, very common. A few upper 20s have been on the board in the Charlotte viewing area. Again, as I cut the video, Salisbury at 29 degrees, and it's cold all around the region here on this Tuesday morning. Now, this is really cold. These are actual air temperatures, 19 below zero in Fargo, North Dakota. Harve, Montana, 18 below zero. Pierre, South Dakota, 7 below zero. And that's the big shot of Arctic air that's just going to engulf the entire eastern part of the country as we go through the next several days. Now, let's look at Storm Tracker. Have some rain falling in parts of Georgia and Alabama, and right on the northern fringes of this, a few snowflakes trying to get involved. Rain fairly extensive further to the southwest in Mississippi and Louisiana. Now, we have extremely dry air in place here. That dry air is going to chew up most of that precipitation shield as it tries to move in. But having said that, again, a few snowflakes, a few sleet pellets possible, especially south of I-40. In the southern parts of North Carolina today, Futurecast keeps the measurable type of precipitation down further to the south in South Carolina, and that's where the measurable precip will largely stay. But again, we could see a few snowflakes or sleet pellets, maybe even a snow shower if the atmosphere moistens enough in a couple spots, but no big deal, just a novelty type of deal if you see that today. It'll be a chilly day, 40s for highs, lows tonight upper 20s to around 30. Tomorrow, kind of a quiet day. We're sort of between storm systems tomorrow. Not much happening for your Wednesday. Our high temperatures tomorrow in the 40s again. And then here we go Thursday. That's when we get the next wave of precipitation in here. Now, as we see the precip arrive Thursday morning, many mountain spots and some foothill spots will likely be right around or maybe just a touch below freezing. So a period of freezing rain is possible in some mountain spots briefly Thursday morning before temperatures warm above freezing as we get deeper into the morning. I don't think it's a big deal. It's not going to be an ice storm or anything like that, but I can't rule out a little glazing of ice on a few elevated surfaces very early Thursday in the mountains especially. Here in the Charlotte area, it's just a very chilly rain that gets out of here probably before lunchtime in most instances. There's your Thursday highs. All right, now Friday, that's the day this big blast of Arctic air will arrive. This is a true Arctic cold front. We'll have a quick hit of some snow in the mountains, and as we progress through Friday morning, it's possible we could see some snowflakes mix in with the rain before it ends, even in parts of the Piedmont, especially I-40 and points north. Not an accumulating type of snow deal, I think, for the Piedmont, but it will be accumulating snow in the mountains. In fact, several inches of snow, maybe 6 inches plus, in the most favored zones. And any mountain folks that pick up snow Friday will have a white Christmas. That snow isn't going anywhere because of this big discharge of true Arctic air all around the eastern part of the country. Now, these are your Charlotte area highs Friday. These highs largely occur in the morning with falling temperatures through the day. And so here we go. These are low temperatures then Christmas Eve morning. I think 10 to 15 degrees, the actual low temperatures, and I'll show you potential wind chill values in just a moment. That's for the Charlotte area. Look at the mountain lows. I'm going with a low temperature forecast of 0 for Boone and Jefferson. Higher mountain spots, Banner Elk, Beech Mountain, Grandfather, Mount Mitchell, probably sub-zero. And again, that's not counting in the wind. These are actual air temperatures for lows on Christmas Eve. There's your highs Christmas Eve. Struggling to hit freezing in the Charlotte area. Another really cold night as Santa makes his trip across the region Saturday night into Christmas morning, and it's still going to be cold on Christmas Day with highs, again, struggling to even hit the mid-30s. So this is a big-time shot of Arctic air. For most of the eastern part of the country, this will be the coldest Christmas Eve and or Christmas Day in at least 30 years, if not longer. Very significant blast of cold air. All right, so let's look at some of the more detailed modeling. This is the 06Z run of the European model. We're looking at the 500 millibar vorticity chart. There comes this disturbance for today, moving out across the, really kind of centered off to the south of us, Florida Panhandle, southern Alabama, southern Georgia. That's the reason it's having a tough time throwing significant precipitation further to the north. And then here comes that big trough diving into the eastern part of the country for Friday and on into the weekend. And I just want to show you this. I'm kind of keeping this in the back of my mind. Let's go out to there. That's the 27th. Couple pieces of energy, which if those manage to get their act together, that could make for something interesting next week. I'm not real sold on that yet, but something we'll be watching here as we move forward in time. So here is the European model, and I'll first of all just step you through today. You can see a little bit of that precip trying to creep up. This is the measurable precip. Keep in mind, this doesn't show virga or less than 1/100th of an inch of rain precipitation amount. So there could very well be some non-accumulating precip further north than this, but you see that very light stuff trying to make it up into Union, Anson, Richmond counties as we go through later today and into this evening. And then there comes the next more significant wave of precipitation. This is overnight, tomorrow night into Thursday morning, and there's that chance for some icing there in the North Carolina mountains briefly, and then it kicks over to rain. And just as a for instance, we'll look at freezing rain totals on the latest run of the European model. We'll watch that. Again, I don't think it's an ice storm, but it could be enough to accumulate some ice on some elevated surfaces there very early into Thursday morning. All right, let's then go to the previous run. There's Thursday night into Friday morning. That's the snow flying in the mountains, and you see these little splotches of blue mixing in east of the mountains. That's where the model is trying to pick up. It's just right on the cusp between rain and snow briefly as this Arctic cold front blows on through the region. Now let's look at temperatures. These are low temperatures, and this is the European model. So let's go out to Saturday morning. There's what it is forecasting for lows Saturday morning. The white shades, that is sub-zero air in the mountains. There's Christmas morning, still very, very cold across the region. High temperatures, here's your high temperatures right there on Christmas Eve on the European model. And there's right there, Christmas Day, a little bit warmer than some modeling on Christmas Day. I want to show you this real quick because the Canadian model continues to be the coldest of all the models. Let me show you the actual temperatures being depicted by the Canadian as we get into the weekend. These are temperatures right there. That is right around daybreak on Christmas Eve. This particular model showing some single digits deep down into the Piedmont, and Christmas morning is just as cold, if not colder. Again, I think that model is a little too cold, but it just goes to show you this is true Arctic air. So let's go back to the European model, and this is going to be the apparent temperature, basically the wind chill. So this is when you combine those temperatures with the wind that will be stirring around. So let's start off Friday. All right, let's get to Friday. That's Thursday. Here we go, Friday. Boy, you can see that Arctic air blowing in. So this is early Friday afternoon. You already have 10 to 12 degree below zero wind chills in the high country. And then let's go deeper on into Friday night. Let's switch back to the previous run, get the 0Z run. All right, so here we go. That is daybreak Christmas Eve. Wind chill of 2 in Charlotte, 1 below in Hickory, 20 plus below zero wind chills being indicated in the high country. And even on into Saturday afternoon, the wind chills stay below zero in the mountains. So this is a dangerous shot of cold air, especially for the mountains. I have some sub-zero temperatures in my forecast in terms of the actual air temperatures in the higher mountain spots coming up over the weekend. And again, you're talking wind chills 15, 20, 25 below zero in some of the higher spots. And again, even here in the Piedmont, we're talking single-digit and maybe sub-zero wind chills. This is cold stuff. And again, I think this is the coldest Christmas Eve, Christmas Day time period in at least 30 years. And by the way, this is not just a problem in the Carolinas. Look at these are wind chill values across the southeast. This is Friday morning. Let's go out to Friday morning. Look at these wind chills deep down into Mississippi and Alabama, 10 to 15 degrees below zero. That's brutal, brutal stuff. This is a really significant shot of true Arctic air. All right, so that's it for the latest edition of the video. Everybody prepare to stay warm, protect those pipes, and certainly no pets outside as we go through the weekend. Protect your homes and pipes and all that good stuff as we get ready for a big shot of Arctic air. Have a great day, stay safe, and God bless.